Fighting games are not dying. They're certainly not low effort, they're actually one of the hardest games to make. They're not bad, but they are stuck. And the problem isn't balance. It's not rollback, it's not accessibility, it's structural. If someone doesn't like Street Fighter, are they going to suddenly love Guilty Gear or King of Fighters? For most people, the answer is no. And that's a massive problem. Because in a healthy genre, games convert outsiders. Fighting games mostly shuffle insiders. Let's talk about why. Modern 2D fighters share the same skeleton. Anti-air, strike throw, meter, oki, some kind of defensive burst. No matter which one you play, you fight for space, you land a hit, you do your combo, and then hopefully you do it again. The names change, but once you understand one of these games, you're not starting over in the next one. Improvement transfers. The loop is the same. And that's important. If these games were fundamentally different, skill wouldn't transfer nearly as cleanly as it does. By far the best proof of this is Sonic Fox. Sonic Fox is a player who has won major tournaments in Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Skullgirls, and Street Fighter. Different franchises on different engines with different pacing, yet the skill transfers enough that someone can stay competitive in multiple of these games at the same time. Sure, other genres transfer a bit. Someone really good at CS will probably be good at Valorant, but there's no way someone could compete at the highest level in both at once. They're different enough that each feels like a different game. And that's not even getting into how wildly different the shooter genre can be. Which brings me to the big thing people don't like to talk about. If someone doesn't enjoy Street Fighter, they probably don't enjoy any 2D fighting game. And that's a problem. Look, not every fighting game is for everyone, even if they already like the genre. I had to beg my friend to play Strive with me, just to get this background footage. I was not going to queue Strive ranked, and he didn't want to play at all.
Alright, you wanna play some 2x scale?
In most healthy genres, one game can convert you. I really love the Souls series, so let's use that as a comparison. You might hate Dark Souls, but Elden Ring might click. And then once it clicks, suddenly you might want to play more Souls-likes. The genre expands outward, where one game can make you change your opinion about all of the others retroactively. Fighting games don't really do that. They mostly rotate the same players between titles. When a new one drops, the fighting game community tries it. Some stay, some go back, but it rarely pulls in a wave of people who previously bounced off of the genre. That's player stagnation. And there's one major thing most fighting games don't do, and I genuinely think it's crippling the genre. They don't give you a reason to be there if you don't already care about the gameplay. Think about it. What is the main pitch of a 2D fighting game? Learn the system, fight other players, improve. That's it. Story mode is typically bare bones if it's there at all. Some don't even have a proper arcade mode. The main draw, or sometimes the only draw, is playing against other people. And if you don't enjoy the gameplay loop, there isn't an alternative that'll bring you in. How can I sell my friend, who doesn't like fighting games, on playing Tokon? Because it being Marvel characters won't be enough. He will just tell me that he doesn't like fighting games. Now look at Soul Calibur. It had Create a Character. Not only that, it had a whole mode built around letting you play that created character. I'm not saying it was a masterpiece, but it did something crucial. It gave casual players a reason to play. Expression. Most people don't decide to get good at fighting games and then grind ranked for hours. They get into ranked because they liked something enough that they naturally wanted to test themselves. Modern 2D fighters treat everything but the core game as an afterthought. And just new gameplay isn't going to pull new people into a hyper-competitive scene. Fun will. Now, to be fair, it's not like fighting games haven't evolved at all. Street Fighter VI's drive system genuinely changes resource tension. 2XKO's fuse system fixed every one of my issues with tag fighters. And I mean that. I will be making a video about that because I think it is that good of a system. These are smart systems. But here's the thing. They solve problems for people who are already playing. They don't redefine who the game is for. That's the distinction. Even when a new fighter launches with great netcode, strong balance, and a clever new system, it still mostly draws from the same pool. The structure is intact, just optimized. Now, there is a real counterargument here. Maybe fighting games don't need to grow. They're just a niche genre. Maybe the loop is inherently competitive. And that's fine. Not every game needs to convert everyone, and honestly, that's fair. Fighting games might never be mainstream like shooters or RPGs. But here's the issue. They're not acting like a niche genre. They're built like they want to be big. Massive marketing pushes, crossover IPs, huge esports investments. You don't do that if you're comfortable staying small. So if the goal is growth, and clearly it is, the current design philosophy isn't aligned with that goal. Right now, the games are optimized for retention, not conversion. And those are two completely different problems. So, are fighting games stagnant? Mechanically, no. Structurally, yes. In what they offer beyond the core loop, absolutely. They've refined the experience for people already inside the genre. They just haven't expanded in ways that make new players want to enter it. And I'd really love to see that change. Alright, I'm really happy to finally have this video done. So, what do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree? How do you think fighting games could appeal to a more wide audience, or do you think they even should? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I've been getting pretty randomly buried with work lately, so trying to also make daily uploads at the same time has been a little bit rough, but I'm enjoying it. I'm making things I think are fun. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to make a parody video that's been on my mind for a bit about just something I found funny. Yeah. So if that sounds fun, stick around for that. If you recently subscribed for the programming content, I'm going to probably try and make Wednesday or Thursday a programming day, at least until I run out of topics, and yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see ya.
I was going to say, tell me where on the screen she is. She's dead.
Yeah. Cake time! Headless!
Cake time, headless! Okay, I see we did not fucking want cake today. Would you like a sandwich, He left! How fast did that controller go through